Some nights at Sal's room feel like a poker game. Last night did not. Last night felt like something else. Last night felt like community showed up, sat down, laughed, rebought, chopped it up, and sent another team a little further down the road. And then online felt like George Mercer staring into the empty internet and asking if St. John's lost power. Lovely day, poker enthusiast. Welcome back to Sal Scoop, episode 334. And today's title is simple. This felt different. Because Saturday night at Sal's room was another fundraiser game for the Great Balls of Fire pool team as they raise funds for their upcoming trip to Connecticut. And I have to say it right from the start. These fundraiser nights have a different energy. They just do. The room feels lighter. The laughs hit a little easier. The poker still matters, of course it does. But the purpose around the poker changes everything. You're not just buying in. You're helping somebody get somewhere. You're not just firing another rebuy. You're adding to a trip fund. You're not just sitting in a game. You're sitting in a room that feels alive. And that right there is the whole story. Because anybody can post the numbers. 31 players, 26 rebuys, Danielle in 5th, Raymond in 4th, three-way chop, money added to the fund. That is the sheet. That is the recap. But the room was saying something bigger. The room was saying this is why local poker works when it works. Because it is not just cards. It is not just chips. It is not just who won and who lost. It is people giving each other a reason to show up. And when there is a reason bigger than the game, you can feel it before the first card is even dealt. Exactly. 31 players took their seats Saturday night to battle it out. 26 rebuys were made along the way. And every one of those buy-ins and rebuys helped push the Great Balls of Fire pool team closer to Connecticut. Now, once we got down into the money, Daniel went out in 5th place for $60. Raymond bagged 120 for 4th. And then we got to the final 3. Art Cameron was sitting there as the chip leader. Paul was still in it. Dave was still in it. And then Art basically put up the white flag. Not because he was scared. Not because he could not play. But because sometimes the room has already had its fun. Art says, you guys want to get out of here early and do a three-way chop? Now that is a dangerous sentence in a poker room. Because the second somebody says chop, the entire table changes temperature. Everybody starts doing math. Everybody starts looking at stacks. Everybody starts pretending they're not interested while absolutely being interested. And then Phil hears the word chop and turns into a calculator with glasses. The man heard three-way chop and immediately went into tournament accountant mode. He did not even blink. He just jumped into action like somebody yelled, "There's $20 left for the dealer," which, funny enough, there was. That is exactly what happened. I jumped in, did the quick math, and it worked out to $360 each, and there was $20 left over for the dealer. Clean, simple, beautiful. Now Paul needed a moment, and that is fair. Sometimes you just need a few extra seconds to process the spot. You are three-handed. There is money in front of you. You are thinking about stack sizes. You're thinking about what first place could be. You're thinking about whether or not you're giving something up. And that is poker. That moment right there is poker. And I respect that moment. Because a chop is not just math. A chop is emotion. A chop is ego. A chop is tiredness. A chop is, do I want to keep playing? Am I giving up value? Can I live with this tomorrow? And sometimes a chop is just Dave sitting there with the best line of the night. Hey, anytime you can take home second place money, that's a good night. That is not just a quote.
That is poker wisdom wearing comfortable shoes.
It really was. Dave said, "Hey, anytime you can take home second place money, that's a good night." And honestly, he's not wrong. Paul got his moment. He processed it. Dave agreed. Art agreed. And just like that, the three-way chop was done. Art, Cameron, Paul, and Dave each took home $360. $20 went to the dealer, and another $1,285 was added to the trip fund. That is the number I care about most today. $1,285. Not because the poker was not important, but because the purpose was bigger than the poker.
That number hits different when you know where it is going. That is not just prize pool movement. That is hotel money. That is gas money. That is food money. That is tournament trip money. That is a team getting closer to Connecticut. And what I like about these nights is the room knows it. People are not sitting there like robots just waiting for aces. They're laughing, they're needling each other. They're helping create the kind of night people remember. That is why the vibe is different. The game has a heartbeat.
And I have to say this, these fundraisers have been a real good time. Great laughs, great people, and the whole room's energy is totally different on these nights indeed. It's not better or worse than a regular poker night. It's just different. It has a purpose in the middle of it, and that purpose changes the way the room breathes. So if you're part of a team, a group, a cause, a trip, or something you are trying to raise money for, contact myself or Mike Hines. Seriously, if you want to have your own fundraiser poker game, reach out. Because when it's done right, it's not just a tournament. It is a night of people actually enjoying being part of it.
And then we go from the room being alive to online being, well, let's be kind. Online was taking a nap. Online was sitting in the corner with sunglasses on pretending it was awake. Online was George Mercer, aka dirtdiggler, sending messages that told the whole story without even trying. First message, "Hey, can you add some bigger blind NHL? Fair request." Then later, "Is the internet down in St. John's today?" And then his dagger, "No players." That is not a recap. That is a weather report for a dead lobby.
That really does say it all. George did not need to write a full paragraph. He just painted the whole picture. Is the internet down in St. John's today? No players. That is the online story from last night. The live room had 31 players and 26 rebuys for a fundraiser. Online had that empty parking lot at midnight feeling. But even on a slow online night, we still had some results. The SummerSlam Step 1 daily freebuy saw 25 players make 12 rebuys. The Step 2 tickets were won by dirtdiggler and JE for the win. So George may have been complaining about no players, but he still found a way to grab a ticket. That is very dirtdiggler of him.
That is elite poker room behavior. Complain about the lobby, question the internet, ask for a bigger blind, no limit hold'em, then win a ticket anyway. That is not a complaint. That is a warm-up routine. And then we had Phil's Deep Stack Thrills with 21 entries. And how did that end? A deal. Of course it ended in a deal. Between No Deals Dalton and Loveless 999. And at this point, we need to have a serious conversation about Neil Dalton's screen name.
We really do, because Neil is going by No Deals Dalton. But lately all we see him do is make deals. So I think we may have to change his name from No Deals Dalton to All Deals Dalton, because that name is starting to feel more accurate. Every time I look at the results, there is Neil again, in the deal, making the deal, ending in the deal. No Deals Dalton has become the most misleading username in the whole room. And honestly, I respect it, because poker names should either tell the truth or become a joke. And Neil, my friend, yours has officially become a joke.
And that is the beautiful contrast of today's scoop. Live poker gave us community. Online poker gave us comedy. The live room gave us a fundraiser. Online gave us, is the internet down? The live room gave us 31 players. Online gave us George yelling into the void. The live room gave us three-way chop. Online gave us no deal Dalton on making another deal. That is why today felt different, because the same game can feel completely different depending on where the people are. Cards are cards, chips are chips, but energy is people.
That is the line right there. Energy is people. And today, we get another chance to feel that in the live room. At 1 p.m. today at Sal's room, we have the 3K added game. $80 buy-in, $60 rebuys, $20 add-on. This is a great Sunday afternoon game. It usually has a top prize close to $3,000. And yes, everyone qualifies. Everyone is welcome, always at Sal's room. If you have been thinking about it coming out, this is one of those days. Sunday afternoon, big added money, good room, good people. Come on out and play.
Listen, when Phil says everyone qualifies, he means everyone qualifies. Not everyone qualifies if you know the secret handshake. Not everyone qualifies if you've been in the room for 5 years. Not everyone qualifies if your Hedon mob page has a paragraph. Everyone qualifies. Everyone is welcome. That matters, because some people see a 3K added game and think, maybe that is not for me. No, it is for you. You want to play? Come play. You want a Sunday afternoon game with a prize up top that can get serious? Come play. You want to sit in a room where the poker is competitive but the people still matter? Come play.
And online today is loaded too. At 12 noon, we have the Sunday Micro Millions free roll. At 2 p.m., we have the Facebook subscribers 850 game step 2 with $160 seat guaranteed. The password is posted on my subscribers page. 4 p.m. is the SummerSlam step 1 daily free buy. 6 p.m. is the SummerSlam step 2. 7 p.m. is our weekly 550 and 850 big game satellites. 8:30 p.m. is the flop and pop. 9 p.m. is Phil's deep stack thrills and the SummerSlam step 3. 10 p.m. is our last dash for cash. So yes, yesterday online may have felt like the internet was down, but today there was plenty to choose from.
Do not forget the cash games, because somewhere out there, somebody is pretending they are just going to play one small session. We have no rake cash games open for action. NL2, NL10, NL50, NL100. And also 2 PLO double board bomb pot cash games. One is PLO 10, the other is PLO 20. Which means if tournaments are not your thing today, you still have options. And if bomb pots are your thing, first of all, who hurt you? Second of all, congratulations. There is a table waiting for your emotional damage.
That is fair. There is a lot of action to choose from on this lazy Sunday. Live at 1 p.m., online all day, cash games open, satellites tonight, deep stack thrills, SummerSlam steps, flop and pop, last dash. But the main story today is still last night's feeling, because I keep coming back to it. The room was alive. The fundraiser mattered. The people showed up. The laughs were there. The chop made sense. The dealer got looked after. The trip fund grew. And the Great Balls of Fire pool team got another $1,285 closer to Connecticut.
And that is why the title is not Art Chopped It. It's not Daniel 5th, Raymond 4th. It's not Online was slow. It is This Felt Different. Because this is what people remember. They may forget the exact number of rebuys. They may forget who finished 4th. They may forget the payout math. But they will remember the feeling of the night. They will remember the laughs. They will remember Dave saying second place money is a good night. They will remember Art putting up the white flag as the chip leader. They will remember Paul needing just that extra little moment. They will remember that the room felt like it was doing something together.
And I think that is the point. Poker rooms need more than games. They need reasons. Reasons to show up. Reasons to stay. Reasons to laugh. Reasons to care. Reasons to come back. And last night, the reason was simple. Help a team get to Connecticut. have a good time, play some cards, raise some money, and enjoy the room. That is the kind of night that keeps the place feeling alive. That is the kind of night that reminds us why this stuff still matters.
And for everybody watching who has a team, a group, a sports trip, a fundraiser, a cause, or even just an idea, that is your sign. Do not overthink it. Talk to Phil, talk to Mike Hines. Get a fundraiser game going, because people will support a good reason when the night feels right. And Sal's Room has already shown it can do this. The formula is there. Good people, good game, good cause, good laughs. And apparently a very fast fill calculator standing nearby in case a chop breaks out.
You're not wrong. I'm always ready for emergency chop math. But seriously, congratulations to the Great Balls of Fire pool team. Congratulations to Daniel for 5th, Raymond for 4th, and Art, Cameron, Paul, and Dave on the 3-way chop. And thank you to everyone who came out, played, rebought, laughed, donated, supported, and made the night what it was. That is the stuff that makes the room feel different. That is the stuff that makes the scoop worth doing.
And online players, do not worry. We still love you too. Even when George thinks the internet is down. Even when the lobby looks like a haunted house. Even when No Deal Dalton is out here making another deal and ruining the credibility of his own screen name. You're all still part of the story. Because slow nights are part of the grind too. Not every night is fireworks. Not every lobby is loaded. Not every tournament pops. But the games keep running. The people keep showing up. And sooner or later somebody types no players and wins a ticket anyway.
That is poker. That is the room. That is the community. Some nights are packed. Some nights are slow. Some nights are fundraisers. Some nights are empty lobbies. Some nights are big chops. Some nights are just a message from George that says it all. But when you step back and look at the whole thing, the story is still moving. The room is still alive. The people are still here. And today, we get to do it again. 1 p.m. at Sal's Room for the 3K added game. Online starting at noon with the Micro Millions. Lazy Sunday, lots of action. Everyone qualifies. Everyone is welcome.
And remember this, poker is a game, but community is why people come back. The cards get shuffled, the chips move around. Somebody wins, somebody bubbles, somebody complains, somebody chops. Somebody says the internet must be down. But the room keeps building, one game at a time, one fundraiser at a time, one Sunday at a time. And that is why this felt different.
And one more thing before we wrap this up. We are getting deeper into Season 7 now, Episode 334. And I can feel the room changing in more ways than one. I'm not getting into all of it today, not yet. But over the next little while, you're probably going to hear me talk a little more about change, about the studio, about the room, and about taking a short break when this season wraps up. For today, just know this. The scoop is still moving, the room is still alive, and Season 7 still has some story left in it.
There it is. Not the full announcement, not the big emotional speech, just the breadcrumb. Because some stories do not get dumped on the table all at once. Some stories get dealt one card at a time. And this one is coming.
That is Sal Scoop 334. Congratulations again to the Great Balls of Fire pool team. If you want to set up your own fundraiser poker game, contact myself or Mike Hines. Get out to Sal's Room today at 1 p.m. for the 3K added game. And get online today if you're looking for satellites, free buys, cash games, or a little lazy Sunday action. Thanks for watching. See you on the felt, and run good, you legend.